Yes.
Soft filter. Yeah, there's a lot of film stars who use that over the years, I can assure you. What's going on from the fundamental perspective?
All right. So I think let me just okay. So if you guys can see my screen, I am just going to go out to the weekly time frame. I'm just going to point out that I think it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks coming up from a fundamental point of view. So I'm just going to quickly scroll through a few pairs to kind of make my point. So a lot of current, and you guys can actually do this on your own at home, right? So I think a lot of pairs, the interesting thing is they are at either a monthly or weekly extreme. So it's either on a monthly high or a monthly resistance or support or a weekly resistance or support. So this starts to make price a little bit interesting from a fundamental point of view, is because the probability of it only going in a certain direction over the medium term becomes a lot higher. So over here you can see I'm just going to scroll through a couple Aussie cap. You can see that I'm just zooming out all the way, and you can see this is probably like a weekly support level. All right, is the monthly is at the bottom over here. It's like kind of about looking like it's bouncing off a weekly support level, and just hitting around the midpoint over here. Maybe something a little bit more obvious will be the Aussie Swiss. You can see, I'm just scrolling out all the way from the weekly time frame. You can see that all the way 2005, right? We are almost at monthly support levels, not counting I think this period, this COVID period. So we're not going to look at COVID period, because the COVID period is like times of extreme, something that's like extreme situations, right? It's because something that's never happened before, a pandemic. But then again, if you think about it, now Russia, is like almost, it's also something that has never been happening before in a long, long time. So we are in a times of uncertainty, I would say, but nevertheless, you can see the currency pairs are at certain extremes, right? So Aussie yen, you can see it as well, very, very near, price is very, very near the top level. So what we probably want to start looking for is for currency biases, in the sense that economically, on a big picture scale, I think every country is doing the same thing. They are all fighting inflation, right? So it's just a matter of how are they fighting inflation? Are they doing it through additional cash injections? Are they doing it through aggressively raising interest rates? Are they doing it via fiscal spending, quantitative easing, or loosening, depending on each government's policy? So I think, I think the most obvious play right now, which already has been going on, is the weak Japanese yen. All right, because the government has already said that okay, they are very happy with the yen weakening. So if we look at price like the dollar yen, which is again, I think this play, the long dollar yen play has already happened. So if we go long now, we're kind of late in the game. So the question really is over here. If you can see all the way to 2003, it is hitting, it is hitting the ultimate highs. But what I would like to show you guys is I would like to go to Yahoo Finance, and show you the historical highs of the dollar yen, because I think that will make the currency level a little bit more interesting. Because if you look at it historically for the dollar yen, and I'm just going to use a very simple Yahoo Finance charts, because this one has the currency price all the way to I think the 1990s, right? So all I have to do is so I'm looking for dollar yen, say dollar JPY. All right, and what I want to just take an overview on the currency pair. Why is it not popping out? One more time. USD JPY, and we are looking for the dollar yen, and I'm going through the full screen. Okay, so if you look at the chart for the full screen, and I'm just going to max out, and you can just identify where the yen has ever been at its ultimate highest. It's actually very, very close to the 150 yen levels. So if I do the max, all right, scroll out a little bit, you can see that over here all the way to 1998, all right, the price is almost reaching 150. So if we compare to where we are now, we are at the 127 levels, 127. We are about maybe another $25 more from the ultimate highs. Will we ever reach there again? I'm not so sure. But what it does tell us that because we are in a time of a unique situation, right? We have never had a pandemic or post-pandemic together with a war at the same time in modern history. So the question will be, well, you can see that a lot of people, probably the technicians, are thinking, oh, it's an ultimate highs. let's start to sell it. The question from a fundamental point of view is what will the governments react to and what will they do? So, Japan government, despite the corporates' displeasure, already has stated that they are comfortable with the yen appreciating. So what I'm looking for is, I think there will be potential of the yen, dollar yen continuing on, maybe not to the 150, but I think if it can probably try the 130 back to the 132, maybe pop up at 136 over the next medium period, provided the policies has not changed. I think it's a real possibility. So if you're on the short side of this, I think the best is to proceed with caution, right, and wait for possible entries to head towards the long side. So this is the basic overview. I think also strongest versus the weakest. Australia has finally finished its election, and you can, as you guys know, the moment the election is over, what's happening is basically sentiment has stabilized, and people are viewing the new government with a little bit more positivity. So I think you will start to see the Aussie starting to gain in strength as well. That being said, I don't expect it to go from bottom to top straight away. It probably is going to stick in the range, because not forgetting we still have China in lockdown, which means its trading partners are still caged, right? So until China has a little bit more of a decision on whether or not it's going to be released from lockdown, I think the Aussie dollar will have strength in it, but again, it might be a little bit rangy until China figures out when it's going to release its people from the cage. Yep. So that's all for me.
Awesome, Lexi. Thank you very much indeed. I'll allow you to go and celebrate with the team. And thank you very, very much for taking time out to have a chat with us. Much appreciated. And if you could please tell people not to, or the market not to actually rally on dollar yen just yet, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
I don't think it's going to happen so soon. I think a little bit more downside.